What is up, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and today we're going to be showing you something pretty cool. I got, if you have not seen my short, please go check it out. But I'm going to explain to you today what I got. I think is going to be really cool. So let me show you, and let's get into it. So guys, welcome to the channel. If you guys have not seen my stuff, please like and subscribe, and I hope you guys are having a good holiday break. But today we are going to be getting into something that I bought on Friday. Well, I actually bought it this past week. So I think it's really cool. It's a good project bike. I don't think there's not too many things on the on YouTube about them. Maybe some ones in like different countries, but I think there has been some old videos on this one. So let me show you what new bike that we are bringing to the channel. All right, guys, so this is the new bike that I got. It's not new, it's old, it needs some work, but it's okay because we can use this as a project vehicle. This is actually going to be going soon. I have three people that are interested. The problem is that I'm in a local area, and the two people that wants it are across the water. There's no way of transporting it. I would have to rent a truck, and it seems like only maybe one person may have a vehicle to pick it up, but the other person didn't. But I do have one guy in my local area who's not that far who can come to the house and pick it up. So he's getting first dibs on it, but if he doesn't pick it up or get it by Friday, then it'll go on to the next person. But this is going to be gone soon, so we'll pull this out and start it up, and we'll show you guys as well. But this is the main thing we're going to be talking about today. We're just going to do a little quick overview of it. We're not going to do any work on it. There is a lot of things that I've checked that needs to be done. I know what's wrong with it. Well, I know it needs to be fixed on it. We still have, that's one hurdle that I know, and I can explain it, and we'll show it later in another video why I say that, but we'll do that another time. But this is a 2008 SYM 250 RV. It is a really big scooter. It's not even, I wouldn't even consider it a scooter. I would consider it a motorcycle because it is highway rated. It is, you could take it out on the road. You see it has a 100-mile-an-hour tach on it, which will never go that fast, but just knowing that this can go on the highway. I know there are some scooters that have a 100-mile-an-hour tach on it, but this one actually do it. So it's gonna need some work before we can actually get it running, because there is an issue with the motor. After my doing check, I had to check it myself because the person that I bought it from, he wasn't mechanically inclined, and he told me what the mechanic had told him, but I had to figure out for myself exactly what the main issue is, and actually I figured out what it is last night. So I'll explain to you what happened with that, but let's get this thing pulled out so that way you can see the bike in its all glory. All right, so here it is. Beautiful bike. Let's take you off this clip here. Let's see. So, as you see, it is a RV250. As you see, it is a massive bike. It is huge. Big, huge exhaust on there. It's got rear disc brakes, front disc brakes. It is even water cooled because that is the water pump. It is all cool. It's a little dirty because it's been sitting outside. The guy didn't have it inside, so it's a little weathered. This actually used to be black, so we're going to take this off and we're going to actually paint this black. We're going to do it today, but towards the end of the whole entire thing, this will all be black again, whether we will shine it black or we're going to get some plastic spray black that'll actually adhere to it. We'll scuff it up, then we'll spray it black to get that blackness back. We're gonna clean the seats because it has been sitting outside, as you see, but in all, no cracks, no dents. It's just some fine scratches, like it's been used. You can tell it's been used. We got to get the headlights all taken care of, and that's a little frosted, but that's actually not a big deal. It's just a windscreen, so really honestly it's not a big problem. We just get it all nice and cleaned up. Maybe even use the polish on that to see if that'll actually work, or we may replace that, but that's not a big deal because it's not cracked or broken. It's just a little yellow from being outside. So we're gonna clean all this stuff. I mean, this stuff is cool. I mean, this thing has fog lights, like right here in these corners is fog lights, and this is a turn signal. Then you got a halo light for like when you're sitting in park. Then you got your high beam and your regular lights, and it's just cool. I mean, everything works. I put a battery on it because the battery is dead, so I had to get another battery, which goes right here, and I put the battery on there and everything lights up. All the lights work. I think this thing's got like 2,000 I want to say like 2,300 miles on it, on this bike. So we hadn't, like I said, we haven't dived into it that much, but we will, and we got to get these all painted back again. So this is actually not that bad. We can actually scuff this up and then respray with some black spray paint. Same thing with here with some black spray paint just to make it look a little better. This actually doesn't need to be painted. I think we can just shine that up and that'll be okay, because that's actually a dark gray anyway, but this is actually supposed to be black. So we will get this all taken care of. It is really cool. I mean, there's the fog lights. Closes up. It's got cubby holes. It's got a cubby hole here. It's got a cubby hole here. It's got some, like I said, stick something over there. This is where the battery goes. This is where the coolant's filled. I think the coolant's not full, so we're gonna have to fill that. And then watch the gas cap. So you turn the key here, and then watch the gas cap. So that's pretty cool. So there's no gas cap cover, but you just do that and it pops out, and you just turn it, and then you push it right back in at the bottom here. There you go. And then that's it. So key and everything works. One of the cool features this thing has is a shut. So you take this the key is for that. Is what it does is it keeps it secure. So you actually see that it closes the keyhole, so someone can't try to stick something in there and pry it when you have it parked. So you then open it, stick your key in, and you're good to go. So yeah, this is actually really cool bike. Like I said, this has got a cubby. We got a cubby hole in there. So this is gonna be really cool. And these mirrors, they all fold out like that, and then you can fold them back so they don't hit. It is a really nice, cool bike. He took the panels off, which the panels is in there. Enough room for a person on the back. And then I will show you the motor area. So do this one-handed. There we go. Set this down. All right. So it is a little dirty. I don't know if we should spray it before we get started, which I think we should, but I don't have a pressure washer, so we're gonna have to figure out something just to get it all cleaned up before we actually start some work on it. So make sure you cover electricals and stuff like that. But so this is kind of like a normal scooter motor. This is a 250. It's just bigger. It's liquid cooled. It's all the bells and whistles. It's not fuel injected. It's actually still carbureted. So we're gonna try and reuse all this. We're gonna try and keep the carburetor where it is. We want to try and get it running as it was, settings as it was, and then hopefully just doing some motor work. We'll be able just to turn this key, actually get the gas. So basically, let me rephrase that. So what we need to do, most of the time in cars, you need to have fuel, air, and spark. And this is the same way. We need to make sure the fuel is good, which we probably need a tank. The tank is right under here. This part right here, that's the tank. We may have to drop that tank to make sure that the fuel is good or bad, whichever, because this bike's been sitting for 2 months. When the issue with the motor, so it's been sitting for 2 months. So it hasn't been sitting that long, but and he said when he had it was running, but there was an issue with the motor. I think they may have overfilled it because so this is the valves, and then this is like where the valve is. This is the top of it, and up under here is some valve, and then the cylinder, and then this is right here, right down here is where the piston sits. So the piston's sitting pretty much top dead. So the piston has a hole in it due to supposedly owner had told me that someone had rode it without oil in it, and that would be a good possibility. But when I checked the oil, it's overfilled. Like it was so full that it's coming out of the filler hole, which is over here. So this is where the oil goes. If I take it out, a lot of oil is going to come blopping out. I think the oil is filled too much in here, causing some extra cylinder cavity to fill. Maybe it caused it to explode, or maybe someone did ride it without oil and then tried filling it, and then it was too late. So not really for sure what happened, but all I know is that we're going to need a new piston. We're going to need a new piston. I think the housing and everything else is good, but the problem is getting a piston. So you can't just go get a single piston. I mean, you can, but it's in the UK, and I don't know how long it's going to take to get here. But eBay does sell the whole piston kit, so we may just end up having to take this off and replace it. So it'd be like I did on the 50cc, where I was changing it to a 90. Really, all we're doing is just replacing the cylinder and the top half, leaving the crank and everything where it is in place, just pushing out the pin and replacing the piston in the housing and putting everything back together. So this top part we can keep, but this part here will be replaced with something new. So hopefully that'll be the way that it'll go, and it won't be too bad. So supposedly you wouldn't be able to just do this in the bike because you have this bar that might be in your way, but I think really and honestly the gas tank is in the way. So if we can find a way to lower the gas tank and get it out, then I think we could do this in the bike without taking it out. Because if not, then we're going to actually have to take the motor out of the bike and work on it that way. A lot of the videos I've seen that were from, like, Indonesia, or where this bike's from Taiwan. So where Taiwan, Indonesia, all those countries over there, they've taken the motor out and worked on it, which is, I can understand it because it's more efficient, but this is a bigger motor. This is definitely not something a single person could help do. So I'm going to try and figure out a way to do this on my own without the help, and then just try to basically just do it in the bike. So we may have to drop the tank and figure out how to get that out. If not, then we'll have to get the motor out. Not a big deal. I've done it before in the 50cc, so of course that was smaller, but we will figure it out. But this is going to be a good project. This will be a nice, good bike. Okay, guys, so that's it for the bike. And as you see, we have to get it inspected. That'll be the last thing we do, is get it inspected. Once the bike is fully running and we can take it out and ride and it's insured and all that stuff, we will definitely take this to get inspected, because as you see, it's due. So it's overdue. So, but this is it. This is going to be a project that we're going to have to figure out. And the cool part is, guess how much I paid for this? This is retail for, I think it was up a little higher than what I paid for it. I bought this for $200. $200 for this thing. Everything works. Everything turns on. The only problem is the motor. That's the only problem. So far that I've seen is the motor. So there is, like I said, there's a hole on top of this piston. I took my borescope and got it down in that hole where the spark plug is. There is a hole on top of the piston. So we just need to make sure that it's just the piston and not the actual crank itself. Hopefully the crank is perfect. We are actually going to, I forgot to mention, we're actually going to do a rotation check. So basically we're going to get this all torn apart. We're going to verify it a lot more better by getting this off, and we can look on top a little bit better. We're gonna get this whole entire thing off in the next episode of this. We're gonna get this off. We're gonna see inside to make sure it's visual. We're gonna change the oil. We're gonna make sure that the spark plug can go in without it being, hopefully it's not stripped, because I'm worried that it's stripped. But if it's not stripped, we saved ourselves some money, because these aren't cheap. Especially the piston and the top part is not cheap. So it's a little bit more, because it's a little more bigger motor, it's a lot more costly than it was with the 50cc scooter. So this is like motorcycle stuff. So we will check that out. So the next episode, we're going to be taking this off so we can verify that the piston, how bad the piston is, because I can't see it very much through that hole. We're going to make sure that the spark plug, it can go in and go out without any issues. That'll save us some time there. And then we're going to change the oil. We're going to check, make sure how the gas is. We're going to check and see if it has any coolant. we're gonna go through the whole thing while we're waiting to figure out how we're gonna get this motor piece thing done. And then we'll go from there, put everything back together and wait and get this motor piece down here and get it all replaced. So that's what we plan on doing in the next episode. But I just wanted to give you guys a taste of what's coming to the channel. This is going to be a major project. I want to try and get this done before the summertime, at least get it up and running and riding before the end of the bike riding, because I will be trying to ride this to work and ride this around, get kind of familiar with it and really enjoy it. So there are a lot of things that will be replaced on it, but there is a little scratch right here, but that's not terrible. We could probably get some paint color, paint that up a little bit, but that's the only really harsh scratch is that. Doesn't look like it's been dropped, so hopefully that's just maybe maybe lean too hard, or maybe something scraped against it. But other than that, it doesn't look terrible at all. I mean, it's a bike's been used and abused. It's been used, so we'll figure it out, figure out how this is going to go, and we'll go from there. So if you guys like this, if you guys are psyched about this, please give me a comment and thumbs up in the description. And if any of you guys have this particular bike and can help me out a little bit more on some of the stuff to look out for or what to check, these are supposed to be really good, reliable bikes. Supposedly SYM is a really nice, respectable bike company. I think they're partnered with like Honda. So I was reading in some of the forums that they team up with Honda. So I don't know if I could. I'm trying to research this motor piece. I'm trying to find one either a little more cheaper in price, which is a used one. I did find a used one, but the used ones, it was for a 300. So I didn't know if I should go to a 300, but if I know if I go to a 300, I may have to do a lot more upper replacement as well, and that's still going to be a lot. And that was 150 used. So we'll have to figure it out. I kind of like to keep it where it is. 250 I think is good enough. Going 300, that's just being excessive. I mean, I want to keep it exactly where it is. I'm not trying to do it like this one. I really want to just keep it kind of the same and ride it and enjoy it. Just get it back to running standard and get it back to running really good and safe and all that stuff, and making sure it's all checked out. That's about as much as I want to do with it. I'm not trying to do any cosmetic extra stuff except for like accessories like the phone holder, something like for navigation or something like that. That's about it. Nothing else more. So just replacing some parts that needs to be replaced, keeping it all pretty much stock, and enjoying the bike. So that's the plan for this thing. Nothing crazy, no custom hop-up stuff. Maybe with the shocks in the rear, because they do look a little rusty, and maybe replace it with something newer and cooler, but that's about it. Everything else will be OEM as much as I can find. So give me a thumbs up, guys, and let me know if you like this in the comments. Okay, yeah, guys, and the last and final thing is we're gonna go over this one more time. Like I said, that I am trying to get rid of this. I got a couple of people. I got one person that's gonna possibly pick it up Friday. If not, the other person has an opportunity to get it. I do need this gone so I can have room in the shop to start working on this bike. As soon as this gets gone, we are going to start. I'm already researching parts for this already and just putting it in my wish list and just trying to get stuff lined up. So we can get started on this. So I'm really super excited to get into this. We will get into this after the new year. I may do a video on it and save it to the new year, but if I get antsy, I will start tackling on this, just doing the small stuff as much as I can, ripping apart the motor, verifying that the piston, how bad of the hole is the piston in. I'm really not really worried about the piston. I'm more worried about the crank shaft. And I want to make sure that the piston can still move up and down in the chamber. If it moves up and down freely in the chamber, then I think that the crank down below will be fine and everything will be okay. It's just a matter of replacing the piston and making sure once we get it completely apart, we can make sure that the housing and the sidewalls and everything is okay. And then we should be able to be okay with that. So that's something that'll be coming up soon, and just doing more research on it, since this is something that I'm not familiar with, because this is motorcycle territory, where this is scooter territory. This is still considered a scooter, but it's considered a motorcycle because of the bigger motor. So this is more of a scooter, something really easy to work on. It's air cooled, that's liquid cooled. This is pretty easy to tear apart, as well as that one. Just this one's got more bells and whistles than this one does. This is pretty much plain Jane simple. Anybody can work on this, and anybody can work on that too if you take your time. So let's get back to this, get this all taken care of. I want to start this up real quick to get it nice and running, make sure everything is nice and good. I did run it the last time, but I just want to make sure that everything is good for the new owner. That'll be coming soon, and then he'll be ready to pick it up, take it, and it'll be all his. So let's get this thing all started up. Gonna let that warm up a little bit. Like I said, it's a really cool bike. I've been super stoked with this. You guys have liked this on the channel. I think I helped you guys out with this who are trying to get into the scooter game. I'm just elevating my level of scooters by going to the bigger one, because this is really small for my use. I'm a big guy. So this is kind of small. This is perfect for someone that's a little more lighter than me, maybe 100 pounds lighter than me. This will be perfect for them. It'll be a little bit more faster for them than for me, because of my weight on this bike is kind of bogging it down a little bit. I mean, it'll still move, but with a lighter person, it'll go a little faster. So, and it's just not good for taking it to work. It's very, I would say, easier to take. So I don't want to ride it to work. I usually ride it, stay on it, get back on it, and gone. So, because this is really easy to pick up. 2 people can take this bike, where that bigger one, it takes more than 2 people to grab that 250. So, and the 250's got a lot more security, locking stuff on it. So this one, I'm really, was pretty happy getting it running for my brother. He gave it to me, and now hopefully it'll go on to someone else who will appreciate it, and go from there. So yeah, this is really cool bike. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this, but it will be gone soon. And there you go. That's it. All right, guys. So those are the 2 bikes. Like I said, this one's going to be gone soon. This is the new project. Like I said, we got to do a lot more research. I appreciate it if anybody has one of these or knows anything about these bikes to help me out a little bit. I'm pretty good on my research. There's not much to research. It's really tricky trying to figure out. I found everything I could think of, but most of the time it's going to be more playing with it. So hopefully this may help you guys when I'm figuring it out. It'll help you guys get one of these if you're trying to get one, if you're looking for one. But I had to get it. It was a good deal. It was a steal of a deal. He was selling it for $200. He didn't know what to do with it. It was going to cost him a lot of money to get it fixed, which I can understand, because he wasn't mechanically inclined to do it himself. I totally understand that. So I took it from him. I bought it, and I'm going to take the challenge. I took a challenge on that. That wasn't even running when I got it from my brother. Brand new bike, wasn't running. I got it running. Then we tinkered with it to get it to go fast. And look at it now. It went from a non-runner to a running and driving scooter that is a ripper. Same thing here. This is the same kind of concept. I got it, not running, figuring it out as I'm going, to take it apart, to put it back together, to get this thing to be a running and driving bike as well. This I'm not selling. I am keeping this. I have been searching and searching and searching for a scooter that would fit my size for the longest time. And like I've told you before in the video, all the bikes up north had this bike. There was a guy in Charlottesville that had the exact same bike for $1,000, running and driving. For lo and behold, after I got this, it was sold. So I'm so glad I got this, because now I don't have to search anymore. I may have to do some tinkering with it. It may take me some time to get it going, but I have a bike. I don't have to search anymore. I don't have to go and talk and negotiate with people anymore. I have it. Now, the only way I would get rid of this is if it was just a total lost cause and I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. But I think it's something so simple that we could get this thing running. It's going to take a little time because we got to save up the money to get everything fixed on it. But I will be doing it mostly myself, getting this thing fixed, and then, getting inspected and stuff like that. That's totally different. But we want to get this thing running. We want to get it started up, riding and driving. I think everything else is fine. We'll start taking everything apart and looking at it, inspecting it, and all that stuff. We'll clean it up while we're waiting to get it fixed. All that stuff. We're going to be doing all of that. It's just going to take some time, but it's perfect because we can get started in the new year, and this will be the nice new year bike that we'll be having, as well as we're doing all the rest of the cars. This will be it. That'll be gone. We can focus on one bike instead of having two bikes, and then we'll keep this one and work on it, and I'll keep doing a lot of shot channels for you guys and for that, and we'll be good. And then we still have the car, we still have the Escape. So this is just something new coming to the channel that I think that you guys will enjoy and like. If you like this, I'm hoping that you'll like that. And then also, one final thing for my friend Gene. We are still working on the scooter. We do have an update. We do find last night I finally got the rim, the rear end chained up, tightened up, and everything. It took me a lot of bolts and parts going back to the hardware store, back and forth, DIY and getting it together, but it's done. It is on there. Now we are going to go ahead and start getting everything wired up, get the brakes hooked up front and rear, get the wiring all nice and zip tied up so it doesn't get hung up. Then after all that, I finally got the ripcord cover so that way he can rip it if he wants to, or use the starter. So I'm glad we got that, because if this doesn't work, he can rip it. He can rip it like a lawnmower. So hopefully that'll still run without having the key turned. So I'm hoping that that's when it's going to be. So we will have to wait and see when we get to that part. But that's it for all the builds. That's it for this. That's going to be gone. That's our new project. We still got the car. We still got the Escape. So guys, that is it for that review of the bike. Like, I just want to give you a taste. I did give you a teaser on the shorts, and now I wanted to really explain it to you guys what we're going to be doing. I'm really super stoked to get into this. I'm just researching my butt off on this. There's not a whole lot of information out there, and I'm trying to gather and grab everything I can. So hopefully I'll find everything I need. Some of the stuff I've already did find, but there are some things that I still need more on to have on my under there, just as for research later, to use for it later. But everything else is gonna have to be just getting in there and messing with it. Hopefully I don't mess it up. So, but I think I'll be confident. I think confident enough. If I can do it on that red one, I could do it on the bigger one. Just gotta make sure you're a little bit more tedious on keeping the parts together. I don't want to lose anything on this or forget anything. So I've been watching a lot of videos and keeping those videos and going back and looking them over to get myself familiar with it, so that when I do it, I know what I'm doing. So, and we'll bring you guys along when that happens. But the year's almost over. And I'm super thankful for all your guys' love and support, to help me grow, to help me do stuff like this. And it's all thanks to you guys. I really do appreciate it. I haven't grown that much with like being monetized, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried about the monetizing. I want to give you guys this information. So the monetizing money does help, and I'm really thankful for it, and hopefully it'll grow. And, I mean, we can do some more crazier stuff, but I'm just thankful to get you guys the information, and I am super stoked to have this, starting with the new year. So this will be a really cool build. I've always wanted one of these, and everything kind of worked out. So that's it. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good, and I will see you guys on the next fix. Until then, peace.